Welcome to Artless now.
What were we talking? We were talking about food in there. I'm like, sadly, the cupcake place that we both love, Sarah, has moved locations.
Yeah.
I loved the old location.
Yeah.
Being downtown, riding my bike down there was a joy. And then you get this calorie-rich, like...
Yeah.
I'm talking about it like it's like passed away. It hasn't passed away.
Yeah. No, it's still there. It's just not there.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder to get to on a bike if you don't live in Paseo.
Yeah, it's by the Paseo, to the west of the graveyard.
Yeah.
What else has kind of gone away? Like, I think we've lost District House in Plaza.
Yeah, we just lost them.
Yeah. We lost the gallery.
Graphite.
Kasem.
Oh, Kasem, yeah.
Yeah, and
Kasem.
Graphite is gone too. But no, he's moved to another location. So
he moved to another location, just not
I'll post
there.
a link to his Facebook page below. And Sarah, in case anybody...
Yeah.
I think
Sarah.
you can order them on... what's the app that sends you... I mean, I know Uber does it... I don't know if they do that in Oklahoma City.
Postmates.
Postmates is ours, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can get Sarah through them.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite foods around here? What do you geek out on?
Sushi. I really love some sushi.
Yeah, where do you...
Lately, I've just been going to Sushi Nico.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew a lot of people there, and their bar's fun to sit at, because me and my friend will give, like, the Postmate people crap, and...
Oh, nice.
like...
You pick on the Postmate people?
Yeah, well, we don't pick on them, but we say really random stuff, and the bartenders are always like, please stay. Just stay here. Yeah, you're giving me entertainment.
Oh,
Just
that's
stay.
great.
Yeah.
So, next to them is Will Rogers, and I enjoy going there. They have a little outdoor thing.
Yeah.
They have a full bar and some good beers on tap and a little pastry kind of section and a coffee shop. And then you can eat their menu, which is like urban chic.
Yeah.
And then you can get sushi from next door.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have somebody picky, like
It's perfect. Yeah.
you can go there and get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other favorite foods? You got Nico.
Okay.
Or places to go to, like,
Cultivar.
Cultivar's great, yeah, because of their drinks.
The cane sugar drinks. Yeah. Main Root.
And so maybe we can get them...
Or Maine's Root. I think it's Maine's Root.
Maine's Root or Main Root?
It's either Main Root or Maine's Root, but I think it's Maine's Root.
Okay. And they have, like, blueberry and like the Coke
They have a Dr. Pepper version. They have a Coke version, a Diet Coke version.
It's better.
It's better for you.
But it's better.
Yeah, it's so much better. You could taste the difference. It's like drinking a Coke that's cane sugar Coke instead of corn syrup Coke.
Yeah.
It tastes so much better.
For me, like, I don't know if this is going to make sense to anybody. Describing, like, taste and visuals is always risky because everybody interprets the world around them differently. But 7-Up to me or Sprite tastes like lighter. Like, even the carbonation, it's probably the same bubbles, same, type of syrup mixture or whatever. Tastes lighter, more refreshing to me than Coke. Coke sits a little heavy. Dr. Pepper sits even heavier. It's like more meaty or peppery or something. Like Dr. Pepper. Like, that's the way I feel about the Maine's Root or whatever. Their carbonation seems lighter to me. It seems more like a summertime spritzy, I don't know. It just doesn't sit so heavy. It doesn't feel like a meal.
Yeah, no. And you're right. Because if I had a choice, I would drink Maine's Root every time.
And they can send us over here to Artless Nap in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, a case if you would like to begin this lovely sponsorship relationship with Artless Nap.
Because that would be amazing.
We'll sit on a podcast. I'll sit here for the whole podcast, just
drink it and talk about how great it is. How wonderfully great it is. Cane sugar's the way to go for sodas, people.
We're going to find out later they were putting, like, the new variant of, like, cocaine in it, just like...
Yeah, well, I mean, if Coca-Cola could do it, why can't somebody else?
That's going to happen. Somehow or another, some GMO product
there'll be a THC one.
Oh, yeah, well, of course there will. Yeah,
there will totally be a THC one.
I can't imagine the conversation just getting loaded on THC. Well,
THC soda.
There'll be, like, heavy dosage and light dosage soda, so light.
Yeah. Why do you know they're going to be cane sugar? Cause...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you would have to. Why would you? I mean, no. I would slap some fines on anybody who uses some
corn syrup.
Yeah,
no.
Ko? Was that what it was when we were kids? Ko syrup? Koya?
Oh, yeah.
Ko, I think, something like that. You would mix it in like your, cereal bar recipes and stuff. That's how you'd thicken up like
K-Rose, I think.
K-Ro? Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it was K-Rose syrup.
Yeah, I don't remember that being such a bad thing when I was a kid. I just remember it being like utterly thick and sticky and too sweet. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was corn syrup. That's
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what it was, and so the reason they use it is because it's cheaper,
Right.
easier.
Right.
So
And it's subsidized by the United States.
and poor families, that was the only, like, you really didn't have sugar, so you had to have a substitute of some sort.
Yeah.
A cheap substitute.
Yeah, and we don't grow like canes, like sugar cane,
Right.
very well here in
But we grow corn.
Middle America. Oh yeah, a ton of corn.
We grow corn like nobody's business.
Yeah. Have you ever done like canning and stuff? I remember when we were kids, our grandmas, grandpas, our parents did a little canning.
Oh, my mom was just canning the other day tomatoes. So
Yeah.
we can, like, my dad will make his own salsa. Like, we'll do pickled beets.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do pickles,
Uh-huh.
both sweet and dill.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. If you can can it, we probably have done it. Yeah.
What would your food truck be like if you had a food truck?
If I had a food truck, it'd be a lot of vegetables, like fresh vegetables. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it'd be. I wouldn't make it vegan just because I do like meat. I do like eating meat.
Uh-huh.
So there would probably be some meat add-ons that you could have, but
And you would have the mains root.
absolutely.
What about dessert? What's your dessert pick?
Oh, I would probably go with something like a sugared syrup fruit.
Okay, how's that work? Is that like a plantain?
Like if you just take a bowl of like strawberries and do the sugar
Fruit salad.
Kinda, but it's a sweet one. So because you make a sugar.
Wait, what kind of fruit salad are you eating? The only ones I know of like have
Yeah, but
marshmallows in it, and are like the sugar creates the paste around the sugary paste.
Yeah,
around
but
it.
it's not the same when you're actually making a sauce that everything is drizzled. It's the same thing as doing like strawberry shortcakes.
Oh, okay.
So the strawberries, how you make the strawberries and everything, you would just have that.
Right.
You don't even need because you can do it with all kinds of, like, peaches, anything with its own sugar content and the high sugar content like that. You can do.
So what would be like the worst, your nightmare food truck if it's you had to eat?
It'd be something that was like basically it'd kind of be like Indian food or peppers, onions, spices, like anything spices. Mm-hmm. And then if they added cheese to everything, and they made you drink like corn syrup,
okay,
like, that would be the absolute worst.
It sounds like every kind of food stop in like Philadelphia or something.
yeah. It sounds like most food trucks that I will not go to. Yeah,
I've actually had a few bad ones. I'm not going to name names, but I've had some where I'll just talk about the type of burger. It was like an onion burger, and man, it was inedible. And it was like, I had to throw it away, and like I couldn't finish a bite that was in my mouth. It was really bad. Maybe I'm like, I don't feel like I am spoiled. I don't eat $high burgers. I don't always eat school cafeteria food either.
But bad is bad.
Bad is bad, and like, how do you not master the burger in Oklahoma?
Yeah, in Oklahoma on a flat top. I mean, if you're in a food truck, you're in a flat top.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even doing skillet.
Yeah.
Like, it's a flat top.
And your customers are hungry.
Set it on there, have it timed, flip it over.
Mm-hmm. Your ingredients should be pretty predictable at that point.
Yeah.
There's not much room to mess up on a food truck as far as ingredients go.
Yeah, and on beef, you don't even have to add anything if you have a flat top. Because there's already flavor baked into it.
Yeah. Food truck is one type of creation, but what about so you're an artist, if you could create like a comic book or a movie, a franchise, kind of like a Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, like hybrid or something, would you even use humans? Would it be space and time future? Would it be very specific?
I kind of already have that. Like,
Can you
Uh,
not give it away because it's like...
No. I have this cartoon thing that I do. It's called Simon the Not So Grim Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's the Grim Reaper, but on his off time, what does the Grim Reaper do? So he goes and plays imagination.
Uh-huh.
And so he has two little friends, Yancey the bear and Penelope the unicorn.
Oh, okay.
And they run around and play, like, imagination. Like, I drew out one, they were doing Star Wars, they're doing the Old West, like, just... Whatever I have them doing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Or Bogus Journey, sorry. It's the second one because the robots are in it. And Friday the 13th Part 2 because Simon is kind of dressed up as the mom, Jason Voorhees' mom, and she doesn't die until after the first one. So it has to be the second one.
I see.
So, but yeah, and so like pirates and like dressing up for hell, just like stupid, ridiculous.
So the Grim Reaper and his friends on their off hours are doing their ridiculous, fun time stuff. Yeah. Does it ever get serious? Do they ever lose a friend or anything like that?
No. How are they going to lose a friend? I don't know. He's the Grim Reaper. What he does, how he got these friends, is he just was like asking people that died. He was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out with me for eternity?
Wow.
Let's do this." And most people said, "No, you're a weirdo." Like he's a little overbearing about wanting to have fun, and like
I can understand that being maybe a trick or something.
Yeah. Like no, I'm not. No,
I got a little. So the unicorn was lonely enough, or just like
the unicorn was a prostitute.
Oh my god!
In life, and she was afraid of where she was going to go. So she was like, yes." And then Yancey, the bear, is kind of like think of like Damien from The Omen, but less evil. So he's really a trickster. He likes to play practical jokes all the time.
This is our lucky.
And he's kind of evil about it because he can be, because he could stab Penelope or Simon and nothing happens.
All right.
So he's quite evil, but nobody could die. So
I like it. So have you thought about taking this to different mediums? Are you gonna? What's it on now? I own a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Where you did his face.
Yeah.
Like really big. You've drawn some of this out?
Yeah. I do 8x10s with Sharpies. It takes me about 20 hours to do one 8x10.
Any flip books out there?
Not yet. I do have prints. I have T-shirts available down at Dig It and Plaza. So.
What about, there's apps out there now where maybe, I don't know, like a class, you could do some animation.
Oh, there's all kinds of, like, I'm in the middle of creating a comic book. We got to get the panels all drawn out and everything. I'm not doing the drawing because I'm too meticulous about, and I want it to look more like, it's still cartoony, but it's like a, more realistic cartoony version.
Nice.
Like you see in a bunch of comics,
Is this going to be like a self-published, like Amazon?
Yeah. We're gonna. We want to, once I get the storyboards and like all of it, like the panels drawn out and everything. I'm gonna go talk to Literati Press.
Oh, cool! Yeah, they're great, Charles.
Yeah. Because they do the Oki comics.
Yeah, and they're still at the bottom of Paseo Plunge. On the North Paseo Drive. I think it's Paseo Drive,
right next to that new coffee shop and pastry place, Holy Rollers.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful food. My mom loves that place.
Yeah,
and then I think that they are the owners of the newly renovating Red Rooster. And then I guess something's happening at the Root. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, I heard something's happening. I just don't know for sure what's going on.
It's all changing. They've got a bunch of really cool stuff there now.
Craig's is leaving.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be a sore. That's where I Christmas shop right before.
They're just moving locations. They're staying open.
Okay.
Because they know they have a big enough fan base, but I don't think they're going to be in Paseo. And they've been there for 40 years.
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's really 40 years. Don't fact check that.
Right. No,
but I know my parents had talked about going there.
Yeah.
And so.
Wow.
Yeah, because Paseo's been the art district for Oklahoma City for decades upon decades.
Yeah, and it kind of extended out onto like Glasson and stuff because we had the church to dance at, and then there was that something Winds, like the witch store with like Mystical Winds or something.
Mystical Winds is what it was.
So that was it extended out there, the weirdoness. Yeah. Now we've got just a few good.
Well, we also used to have what was that coffee shop? Down on 23rd. You know what I'm talking about?
Cactus. Santa Fe? No.
What was it?
Well, there was Medina's that was in Paseo, and then there was the.
But this one was on 23rd in a little tiny house.
See, wasn't that wasn't the?
But it had been like 3 different coffee shops over its span of being.
Leslie's? No, that wasn't. Was that the? No, because Leslie's Painted Desert. That was like where Iron Star is, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I didn't go to the other coffee shop that was on 23rd.
It's gonna like.
Oh no! Wait, no! You're talking
Sandman's.
Was that the one that was that's now like the Mexican place or something?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
next to
yeah.
the car.
I think
it's across from. Are you talking about the one that's across from Shepherd's Mall?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was called Sandman's at one point. I know that. I can't remember what the other name, because it went from Sandman's to something else.
I wouldn't know.
But that was where all the industrial kids hung out.
Yeah, I went there. That's why I'm remembering this. Like, there were people actually playing like Dungeons and like role playing stuff, and there was like Wiccans, and
And surprisingly, there was a basketball goal in the back.
Was there really?
Yeah, most people didn't even know it. And like, there's a basketball goal back there.
That's
like,
cool as hell.
Yeah, you can totally play.
That was a cool little space. It was tiny. There was like tiny little tables, and it was dark.
It was kind of like no food version of Red Cup.
Yeah. I don't
about
know.
half the size.
Did you ever see Paul Medina's place? It was a coffee shop in the Paseo. This is a long time ago.
Probably, but
they had like poetry. I don't think they had food, but they had like kind of a full bar.
Where was it at?
Like beer and stuff.
Like in Paseo.
I don't know. I think it was like across the street from Craig's somehow.
Okay, so it was kind of by where Picasso's is.
Yeah, I think it was in that area. Yeah, I don't think he had the biggest space. I don't think.
Was it the other room space?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if the owners at that time had.
Maybe it was
the other room space.
That would have been about the right size. Yeah, I don't know though. I'm not sure. I don't want to. Yeah, because I'll get fact checked and everything.
Yeah. Everybody like, no, it was this. And
you can send us hate mail. You can correct us on this thing, but we're just gonna hit delete and look for the fan mail. And
yeah. Only listen to the positive. We don't care. Whatever. Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Do you ever get any hating? Do you ever get any people like giving you shit here in the city?
Yeah. I mean, back when I'm in my upper 30s. So.
You don't look it.
Yeah. Thankfully, thanks genetics. I appreciate that. But I'll be 38 this year, and so like in the early very late 90s, early 2000s is when I came out, and I used to go out to the Strip, and I was like, I always have dressed different, multicolored hair, just weird, this industrial type. I mean, I was going from a raver, candy kid, to a graver.
Right.
So it was just a darker transition, but I was different and weird, and there was totally not that going on at the Strip. And so I used to get shit said to me. I'd get people, asking why the fuck I'm wearing what I'm wearing, and just stupid crap like that. Just gay men being catty just because I was different. My tattoos, when I started getting tattoos, they weren't and then now all of a sudden, oh, you're weird, and oh, you dress like that, and oh, look at you, you're so original. Right.
Well, and now some of those preppy type guys who are our age now, gay or straight, are wearing more makeup than I am. I was also kind of wearing the Lycra or whatever, the Titan shirts, zip up. It was all dark and shiny, and I'd do metal gun, fingernail polish, and the black, bell bottom pant things, but I had a hacky sack in my pocket, so I was specialized. I was like a goth kid that hacky sacked, I guess.
Yeah. You're what was going to evolve into a modern day hippie, pretty much.
Oh, really?
That's the think about all of us that did all that. Like, I did the same thing. I had a hacky sack all the time.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I was listening to like the dark music. I was listening. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, we're talking Skinny Puppy. We're talking.
No, more like oh gosh. Now I'm blinking The Cure. I mean.
Okay. Yeah. So you're on the less EDM side.
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't remember.
So you had The Cure, Death Cab, which people don't realize that Death Cab goes back far. They do.
I loved Death Cab. Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Nirvana fan. Like, out of all the Seattle guys, I liked him because his lyrics were a little more critical and dark and kind of fuck you.
You may appreciate this. Who I've been listening to lately, The Ills.
Oh yeah,
I've been listening to the album Beautiful Freak. That one with Novocaine for the Soul on it. Oh, it's such a great album.
Yeah, it is. It really fucking is.
And I was listening to it with one of my friends who's younger. He's in his 20s, and I was playing. He's a musician. He's and he loves Death Cab, and he loves all this. And I'm like, I was playing that. He's like, "What is this?"
Oh god!
And I was like, "This is the Eels." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, this is pivotal. What you like now? This was a band that helped perpetuate that."
Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, they were the first band like that to have a #1 hit.
Yeah. We have a similar situation in Oklahoma City. We have Tyson Mead, who ran for a congressional seat, and he lost, unfortunately, but he was the head of the Chainsaw Kittens. And Smashing Pumpkins came back through again just recently, like last week or this week, and gave kudos to them again. They always push for them. They always talk about Tyson Mead and his band being a huge part of them growing up and doing their part for the 90s music.
Yeah, for being an Oklahoman and growing up in the 90s into anything alternative, you knew the Chainsaw Kittens. You'd seen them. Like they were super, and I didn't even realize until later on in life how influential they were into,
it's huge,
into everything else, because to me it was just, it's them again.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then not in a bad way. No, they were great. Like, I know I'm going to see them.
They were pounding the pavement. They were really playing hard everywhere. Mm-hmm. Doing it like you should, like throwing parties, but also having legit shows. They did it right.
Like legit shows, yeah.
And it was great. And then we also had the Flaming Lips, who were always, but their parties were like,
well, that's a whole nother
art experiments, and they still are, I guess. These days,
I went to the opening of the Womb when that opened. Before it got shut down.
Right. So it got shut down because of, like, you're talking about the first time.
Yeah, with the fire department. Yeah.
There's too many paper strips hanging from the vaginas.
And there was, and they said that they didn't have their sprinkler system set up correctly, and there was all kinds of like stupid things.
Yeah.
They just didn't want it to go on. I know.
Yeah. Well,
I won't say, but I did.
They were kind of in the city's favor. They gave him a street name and everything, but they took away that street name, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there might be still some signs up, but I think technically, legally,
I don't think
they removed the name. Yeah. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Mary Fallon's daughter had
Flaming
an
Lips Alley.
Yeah, Flaming Lips Alley, yeah.
No, it's because it's only an alley. They don't have any signs up at all, because it's the one that runs right there by, I think it's the one that runs right there where they used to do the haunted house.
Yeah, but there's like restaurants with like entrances to that side now. Mm-hmm. I think that they just really had a little fight, a tiff.
A tiff.
Yeah, there was a tiff. There was I think maybe the quality of some shit that was passed up into the mansion was subpar, and they were like, we're taking away your street name. No, I don't really know anything. These are all rumors.
These are just rumors. But they did. I mean, Wayne did throw the best Halloween parade.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. We've talked about that too. The Ghouls Gone Wild. Yeah. What a weird name, Ghouls Gone Wild. But
okay. So Nicole was talking about the girl who broke her corset at the Ghouls Gone Wild.
Oh yeah,
I was there.
Oh yeah,
I was modeling for Nicole then.
Did you push the girl into the hole?
No, I did not do that. But I was there when it happened. It was like,
what were you dressed as? First of all, give us a picture of this.
I was kind of like, I was wearing my the one I actually own now. It's a Thanatos inspired corset.
Okay.
And Thanatos, if you don't know, is the Greek god of peaceful death. And so I was a Grim Reaper. And so like we did that for Carnality Ball that year.
Yeah.
I think that was the year that this happened.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah,
it may have been the other year that I wore the heart corset.
Don't fact check us.
Don't fact check us, please. So, anyways, this was one of the times. I don't know. Crazy shit happens. So, so the symbol is the torch upside down. It's still burning, but it's upside down.
Okay.
And cool. In mythology, he had wings as well. So there was wings on the back of the corset.
Nice.
And so I wore this big cloak, and I had an antique scythe.
Uh-huh.
And so I'd go up to the side, and I'd scrape it on the ground and throw up sparks at kids and everything, like scare the crap out of them.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I had my makeup done and everything, of course. Like,
yeah. And did you see the falling, or you just heard about it?
No, I was by her, kind of. When it happened.
Was she shook up?
She was more worried about the corset, like everybody is. Like I've seen so many people fall in those corsets and like freak out, but realize it didn't break or hit it on something.
I
mean, there's been times though that
some damage happened.
Yeah,
that happens in the art world. That happens. Mm-hmm. I mean, we constantly damage. Some of the best internet photos I've seen are some renovations where the artist wasn't selected properly, and they make a ridiculous rendition of, Jesus, you know, or there was a new one. God, I can't even remember. Just look it up. Look up like epic fails religious renovation on Google, and you can find some really funny stuff. That legit, like, they were doing legit restorations, or at least they had the money to do it, and they paid the wrong person. And
the wrong person. You didn't check references beforehand, right? You know, like, can I see the piece that you've done before?
Can I see some tattoos you've done?
Anything? Anything?
Does anybody have your artwork? No. Okay, no, pass. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we might talk about tattoos because he's got a plenty. We might talk about parades. We might talk about art breaking. We might talk about UFOs. Actually, I am. I'm gonna ask about that. But we'll be back. This is Artless Nap. Welcome back to Artless Nap. It's still us. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
UFOs, ghosts.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
What do you think? What's happening in your brain right now?
Well, for UFOs, like, ghosts is another story, but UFOs are totally. I think that there is, if there was any kind of being that could travel the universe and end up here, it would have to be AI.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
And I think that that's probably what happened, is that there was some technical error at some point and it crashed, and we got the technology, and the reason that technology's advanced as fast as it has is because we've been, like, basically breaking down their already formed technology.
I mean, I have some questions about maybe some of our progress, but we went, like, we didn't know if a sperm and an egg entered in, combined, a sperm entered an egg to create the zygote. We didn't know about that stuff until the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And then we found X-rays, and we were developing, steam power for like a few thousand years, and then all of a sudden electrical became a huge thing, and we were refining microscope stuff. I can see how it all blossomed into us doing what we have now. So I don't want to give credence to, like, outside mystical powers when humanity could have developed this stuff. I'm saying
I absolutely could have, but I think it would have taken longer for us to get to where
we got quickened because of something. I don't know. I
think there was something that happened. I mean, and it's not necessarily a mystical force. It's an AI ship. That's not that we have them already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you can put a drone on autopilot. That's an AI ship.
Yeah. Well, and the way I feel about, like, the, like, drone type stuff is, like, there's stories about beings and things. And, like, I can see, I guess this is, like, not a novel idea because you have sci-fi stories that were on the radio about, like, robots, the day the Earth stood still.
I mean, Isaac Asimov wrote the rules for AI.
Right. And so
he's a sci-fi writer, so
I can see with, like, us programming genetics and stuff, how you could send out a probe, and it basically doesn't have anything until it detects, like, a life, bearing planet, and then starts growing kind of a droid inside of it. And by the time it arrives, these are programmed bot type things that can even get out. So they're like little scouts, you know, like, and it's constantly linked up with the ship or whatever. And yeah, I guess if the ship crashed and it was damaged, its internal computers were crashed. So you just got this little drone that's out there kind of wandering around, maybe collecting samples and doing stuff, but it doesn't really have...
Doing what it's designed to do, but having nowhere to report it. Like, it's like, okay, I have this. Well, nobody's here, so I guess I'll go find more.
Guys, well, I guess I'll just probe some butts for a couple years, and we'll see if another ship lands or something.
Yeah, I guess I'll just keep my study going here.
We got a plane. This is like the Paseo pause, or we're in Gatewood. The Gatewood pause.
The Gatewood pause.
I've had to do this in a lot of different cities where you just stop communication because there's, predictable trains or...
Yeah.
It's not unknown to city
life.
Well,
I mean, it's just like in the plaza when we have bikes driving down and they want to be all nice and loud.
Rev it up.
Yeah.
Aren't there speed bumps down there now? Don't we have those? We have crosswalks.
We have crosswalks.
And the speed goes down to 25, as it should.
Yeah. I guess your speed bumps are the people, I guess.
Yeah, well, is that what I'm feeling? I might need to look in my rearview mirror once in a while. So you believe in UFOs? I mean, I can believe in machines built and traveling, given enough time, traveling across
expanses. And who's to say how long they've been traveling? Like,
right. I mean, if you reach like speeds near light, and if there's nothing organic on it yet,
you should be able. The theory is that if you have no organic material, you should be able to breach light speed.
Right, and you could bring stuff with you to create organic material once you're sub light speed.
Yeah, and we're talking to a point that, that we would, like, a civilization would be able to scan a brain and actually keep it
right
in a hard drive. Because it's really not much difference between our brains and our hard drive.
No, it's a computer. It's a network. It's a... Yeah.
And being able to, store that, there shouldn't be any reason. And so if you built a brain and applied all the information...
Right. It doesn't have to be too intelligent. I mean, it just has to do basic, simple tasks. I mean, okay, so with the limited capacities we have today, you can stick on a drone now something that, whether it be networked or on board, we have the ability to recognize whether something's kind of a tree, an obstacle, physical obstacle, and these things like fly through AI and do avoidance like cars do.
Yeah.
Like, here's the lane, you're missing the lane, So it doesn't have to be like super smart. It doesn't have to sit down and have a chat with you about the meaning of life.
But that's a precursor.
Yeah.
These are the basic motor functions we teach children.
That's true. Yeah.
And so we're teaching children. And they're eventually going to have smarts. They're going to have intelligence.
You think so? Yeah.
They already do. There's already AI in robots that have conversations that are unscripted.
Okay, that's okay.
That are coherent.
Sure. How do you know this thing isn't splitting personalities? How do you know it's not?
How do you know that it is?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't even talk about personalities.
Well, I mean, we can't talk about sentience yet because we haven't developed it enough to have sentience yet. But you can see the beginnings of sentience.
Right, the tools necessary
to be able to
develop that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then ghosts, since there's no hard drive or network, that we know of, that we can think of.
But it's still related.
Okay. How?
Because think about it this way: if so there's all kinds of other energies and everything that we do not see.
Sure.
We can't comprehend.
Radio waves and stuff.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
That we can't see as humans.
Right.
So who's to say there's not other things that we can't see?
Yeah.
And that there's, say like a tragic event. I mean, if we're all electrical impulses anyways, everything we do, everything we say.
Right.
Then if it's a traumatic enough or like hard enough, like action going on in your brain that you couldn't leave some kind of a ripple within that space.
All right. Well, so in my younger days, I had read about theories like this where they'll say there's a hotel built into a mountainside that has quartz or something like in it that and this is like really sad, that like places with high levels of quartz, and I know this is paranormal stuff, it's not scientifically so these are all just kind of like old rumors, but they say that wherever there's quartz, like the ghost activity seems to be reported more, or rather people who are fond of searching for ghosts like tend to find haunted places near quartz. Maybe this is something, a wives' tale that they invented, and like you break up with a girl and you always see her car, or your brain's just fixated on it and it's there. But like on the one hand, I totally do not believe in like crystals absorbing bad energy and changing. I'm sorry for everybody who's listening who believes that you can put pink crystals on your chest and take bad energies away. I don't buy it. But on the other hand, they do some weird stuff for us technologically, conduct electricity in certain ways. They're conductive in certain ways, and they do have some kind of lattice work, which is a form of storage, a form of storing information, or at least the conductivity will move certain ways because of the structure of this thing.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe if there's some interaction between a world we don't exist in, like a parallel universe, or like the dark matter, the stuff we can't account for, maybe if there's some structure and network that barely imperceptibly pings this stuff or makes it,
or kind of like
chat.
Alternate dimensions.
Yeah, well, this is kind of where I'm going with that. Like, maybe if there's some other force or like realm that interacts with these things to give there a little a network for these things to pass along whatever type of vibrations or energy you're talking about. I know this is all going like off into la la land, and that's kind of my point. Is like it's hard for me to believe it unless you throw all of these like maybes and ifs and stuff, and so. I mean, I've talked about, like, I've seen a ghost, like, at least my brain perceived a ghost or whatever. And so I can't discount other people's, experiences. And there are weird things that happen. People say, well, if there's cameras everywhere, why aren't there videos of UFOs and why aren't there photos of ghosts? And I guess my easiest counter to that would be, like, have you tried getting a good photo of, like, your family? How long does it take? Like, and if there's, like, a bird on the tree that you want to take a photo of, like, how often do you miss?
And then if you go deep state, you could say, well, how many are being suppressed?
Okay, yeah, now we're talking about deep state.
But I mean, in reality, if I was the government and I knew that there was something like aliens,
well, if it was just your own,
and that the average person in America could not deal with aliens.
Oh yeah, you're talking about, like,
they could not deal with everything going on and deal with aliens. Then it'd just be a whole nother.
All right,
thing.
my argument to that would be, like, America and the world are clearly not ready for Donald Trump, and Deep State didn't suppress what's happening with this presidency. I think everything's going to shit, and if they had this ability to protect us from everything we're not ready for, they probably would have made sure that he didn't get elected. Deep state powers.
Let's see. I'm talking about a deep state that doesn't care about the politics and cares about the protection of humanity's sanity.
Sure. All right.
Instead, like, because most countries have admitted that there is evidence of UFOs that they have, but they won't release it, and they won't do anything. They won't release any, like, and some countries do suppress. Any kind of sightings.
Right, they're classified and stuff. And I wonder how much of that is, like, military, made objects and stuff. So we wouldn't have access to that information. You had George W. Bush Jr. On a talk show, this, like, just within the last few months. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. And he asked, and he's been asked this several times, like, have you ever read the files? And the way he states it is yes. I mean, he says, I can't, like, I can't comment on that. Can't comment on that. Like, I can't tell you yes or no. But he has alluded to yes. And then Jimmy Kimmel or whoever asked him, like, have you ever told anybody? And he was very direct. He was like, no. There was no, like, well, there's nothing to tell, or, like, I couldn't if there was something. He was like, nope. I
even Obama has said that. It's like,
Of course there.
I mean, I'm not saying yes, and I'm not saying no when asked this question.
I imagine we have some really cool tech. I mean, I know we do. We've had drones since the 70s, 80s is kind of when that stuff started, and I'm sure the technology, like, really got crazy in the 90s when we miniaturized, like, everything.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you had cell phones with computers on them and everything.
Well, early 2000s. Let's not get
the 90s. No, the 90s is when the miniaturation, like, started.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't at a viable point until 2000.
For us, I mean,
for the average person, yes. For the average person, absolutely, it was awesome. I could play Snake on my cell phone. This was awesome.
Yeah, I remember.
And I could drop it from 4 stories up and pick it up and still work.
Yeah, I remember the games we used to play would have, like, the pre-imprinted, like, kind of jump movements.
Yeah.
The electronics would light up just that section of, like, an already exposed screen, or, like, double layered screen. So that was, like, you'd press up maybe, and maybe it would tell you.
Did you ever play the one that was like a box, and it had, like, it was a race car game, and it had the little wheel?
Oh yeah.
And it had the thing in the back. Yeah, and it had the thing in the back that spun, and then if you hit.
Yeah, it's like a belt of, like, printed out road, and it would just loop and loop.
And there was, like, little light other cars that would show up. You had to drive around them.
The game I remember the most, so let's go all the way analog. The funnest one ever was the bubble hand grip thing where you push the one little button and it blew water and blew the rings up down until the water dropped, and then you had
there's a bunch of little posts.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
I like the old Pioneer games we have here at my house. So we kind of, like, we've joked about testing people's intelligence. Like, you can't hang out unless you can solve. It's like two horseshoes, like, with rings, and you have to pull the ring off, and the bent nails where you have to get them apart and put them back together.
Yeah.
I love the old Pioneer games. I think if you sit them down and somebody can figure that out, and what we joked about was if a friend who constantly comes over has, like, a Tinder date or somebody from the bar, and, like, they come over and they want to know whether we like them or not. I'm like, well,
solve this.
Yeah, we'll have the Pioneer games out. So if they solve those things, then they at least.
First we'll see. We won't tell them to pick them up. We'll see if they pick them up themselves.
No, it happens when they're out there.
They
always do.
But there's some people who won't, and that's the people you probably should be like, no,
yeah,
no, they won't even pick up a random thing.
Right,
like
they're
that.
just eyeballing it or whatever.
Like, what's that weird thing? I'm not gonna try to figure this out.
Most people do, and they pass it around, and I see different frustration reactions, and so that's a pretty good tool. It's a good device to figure out what they're going to be like in the future. Yeah, gauge. Like if they kind of just like get frustrated after 2 minutes and like set it down and like stare at it and pick it back up and stuff. Do they pick it back up? They, or do they just go, nope, I'm not going to embarrass myself?
Yeah. Then
we know what kind of person they are. Though, I think what type of cosplay they would be willing to do might tell us more.
Yeah. So
about their interests.
So you're a guy, but you want to dress like them. Okay.
Or the horse. Like, what are some of the new ones? So you've got the horse one. That's pretty prevalent.
Well, okay. So you have furry horses, which are the people in the actual like horse costume.
Yeah. And
then you have horseplay, which is they don't put on a costume, but they'll put on like they'll have a ponytail. Which, if you don't know what a ponytail is, look it up.
Is that the behind accessory?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, yeah.
All right.
But they'll actually have like the bits, and like people will get on them and ride them, and they'll wear like probably the closest to a costume because they wear a lot of leather and everything. But they'll have like the horse hooves.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they clomp, and it's pretty.
And they will prance, and they will just like a real horse. It's just like a trainer walking a horse around.
So what are some of the? There's furry, but that's kind of older. Like
furry. Well, it's older, but it's still.
I don't think we have to explain. There was a time when you had to explain to people what a furry was, and now I think everybody knows what a furry is.
In the, I hate to say this, but in the geek and nerd community, you probably like. You know what a furry is.
You knew what furries were.
Especially if you're in an anime or like if you're not into it.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but you know about it.
Yeah.
You've been to a convention and seen them.
Right. And then a huge... it's always been big. It's been bigger longer than these things. One of the OG versions of dressing out was drag, where you'll have like gay, bi, poly, like
drag goes straight, back, thousands of years.
Right, but we have the big scene here, and that's getting bigger and bigger in the United States. I mean, I think since
thanks, RuPaul.
Yeah, well, was it RuPaul or was it what was the horror movie with the really big blue arced? Oh man, had a name.
No, but I'm saying thank you, RuPaul, just because before the show.
Yeah.
I mean, remember he was making dance music in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's where he got like famous,
right?
And so he was a drag queen who did music and performed, and so like
now he's got a show where he has the younger generation putting on their first outfits.
Well, not their first outfits, just
their persona, and then Don't they give them like trials? Yeah, they give them like trials. Like this is going to be flamingo based, or this is going to be.
Yeah, you have to use these kind of like materials to make a dress.
Yeah, so it's like make the dress type.
And then they do like lip sync for your life.
Oh, nice.
It's for elimination. The bottom two have to lip sync for their life, and so whoever performs better goes on. And they do take into account like whether they knew their lyrics of the song, and they're basic, general like songs that any drag queen's gonna know.
Yeah,
if they're continuing to perform right now,
right?
Because either it's a classic or something.
What song would you do your routine to?
Probably something from Florence and the Machine.
Oh my god, that's incredible!
Like I really love Florence, and I love like the feel of her music, and I really think that Florence and the Machine would be.
Yeah, I think I'd go dark and do like something brooding, like Nick Cave, or like super long and scary, so that like, and it'd be a one-off. It wouldn't be every week. They'd be like, "Remember, was I tripping that one time we saw a drag star do or drag queen, drag queen, yeah,
drag queen, yeah.
Kings are typically more feminine looking, that dress up more masculine.
They're typically. I mean, they're typically female born. It's the female version of drag queens. It's drag queens are men dressing like women.
Okay,
drag kings are women dressing like men.
Yeah.
And putting on that persona. And for some of them, it's more than just a persona. It's actually who they are.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to support that kind of scene as well. Like, drag queens are not just it. Because there's a lot of drag queens who goes into transition.
Yeah.
Like, that's their first voyeur into, like, being a woman.
Yeah, it makes sense. There'd be people to help them, and they can experiment constantly and be applauded, have support. And, yeah, I guess the testing things out. That's...
Because you're also getting people used to the fact of thinking of you as a woman,
yeah,
and being treated like that. Because in the drag community, it's totally like that. Especially at the like a drag queen, you probably are going to call her she, even though it's a guy, even when he's in boy form.
Oh yeah,
like you still say she, and call him by her drag name, like like those kind of things. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like some people have had to make that. And I'm not belittling them at all. I'm serious here. Where people have to do that transition, not just like with pony stuff. It's probably got to be hard to be a pony in public for the first time.
Yeah.
Or drag. But like being a Whovian or being into your cosplay stuff, it's a little intimidating. It's like being on stage or something. You have to be prepared to have people walk up to you and be elated and communicate with you. And some people not so good in public.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, I'm probably one of the, unicorn type nerds. Like, I don't mind the attention. I like people coming up and talking to me and being like, I get excited that they're excited. I'm like, sweet. Like, I had one person stop me in Plaza when I was dressed up like this as the doctor and was like, can I get a picture with you? You're the doctor. I love it. Like, yes, of course.
That's awesome.
Like it brings some happiness to their life, like for that moment, and I think that's great. So,
you should
even like my bow ties and everything. Like people are like, "You look so great," like seeing you with a bow tie makes me happy. Good.
I should get you a tiny little Rob River Songs, book, and have you ask for their autograph back, and just like you put all their autographs.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Just for a list for the future, all those who will survive the final.
Yeah. The final reckoning, the master's final plan.
I just need your name for this little list I'm building.
Yeah. I'm just building a list. Don't worry. It's a good list. It's a good list.
Unfortunately, we have to qualify whether are you a good list or a bad list. Well, I'm not a list at all.
I'm not a list at all. I'm a list.
Do you have social media?
No.
So
I've been off of social media for 5 years.
Yeah, I knew you're off, but you don't keep a little account that you gotta like check in on once in a while or anything. Is there going to be a website for your character?
There is an Instagram for my Simon character, but I don't run it.
Oh,
I don't have the password for it or anything.
Oh my god!
I literally do not run it. Like, I just bring up every once in a while. Hey, post something for me. What's
the Instagram?
It's Simon the Not So Grim.
Yeah. So will you take any requests like Simon's his little adventures,
escapades? Absolutely.
Yeah. For me, I want him to go to Brahms, and I want to find out like what his favorite ice cream is, and then have like maybe an ice cream headache or like.
Oh, I already.
You got it.
It's there. I can already see it already. Like Yancey will be behind the counter serving.
I just want something a little local.
Penelope will be standing in line.
Tell me maybe your five favorite songs, and then tell me your 5 least favorite songs, and then I'll have 2 more questions for you.
Okay. So 5 favorite songs.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. That's
okay. 2 favorite songs, 2 least favorite songs.
Okay, because 5 is a lot. Even 2 is kind of hard. But I think I can do 2.
Okay, give me those.
Just because I just what I'm listening to kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's this band called Sir Sly. And the song is called Head First.
Head First. All right.
Yeah.
We'll link it.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Why do you like it?
It's just about, allowing yourself to like feel love, even if it's not going to last.
Yeah.
And that it's a step that you need to allow yourself to even feel it, because you can find some love, even if it's for like a week or a month.
Yeah.
Or, and it helps fill that void kind of thing. And then you can. Like,
so second favorite?
Second favorite would probably be Oh, probably Capital G.
Capital G
from 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, wow. Yeah, because that was on the album With Teeth, and it was a very political album.
Yeah,
and the whole song's about he spells his name with a capital G, so it's kind of referencing God, but it's also referencing George.
Oh, okay.
W. Bush.
Little double entendre.
Yeah. So it's kind of like because that whole album's about like a political struggle of like overprotective state and all that jazz.
So what are some really bad songs?
Oh, there's lots of those. Probably, I mean, this I think is on the top for a lot of people is Call Me Maybe.
Call Me Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a crap of a song.
Okay.
But though, have you seen the video of it dubbed over Childish Gambino's video?
No.
You should watch it.
Oh
it's ridiculous.
All right, we'll link that.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Anyways, second song, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually can find something I like about a song. Typically, I'm pretty like flexible on what I like. I may not like it, but I could understand why somebody else would.
All right, let me ask you. Do you understand like any of the music by Chris Gaines, like the Garth Brooks?
Oh yeah, of course.
You liked some of that music? Oh
no,
gosh.
I didn't say I liked it.
Okay,
I say I understand. I understand why people were fans.
Way wider than I.
Well, I understand why people were fans. I mean, one of my teachers in 8th grade was Garth Brooks' cousin.
Oh my god!
And then her brother, another one of Garth Brooks' relatives worked at the school as well. Like,
really?
Yeah, his name was Brooks.
Well, then you just can't say anything bad because you'll get like no Christmas cards or some hate mail.
Yeah, people show up at the house. I heard you talking crap.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. And I also lived almost in Mustang for a while. Like, I ran around Mustang and Yukon growing up. Like, so
yeah. What do you
It was
do?
kind of an obligation to find something you like about it.
Other than listen to Garth Brooks, what do you do in Mustang? Mustang's growing. It's like huge, but
back then it was just, man, you drove around and you just hung out.
Did they have like the Sonic where you drive to and you just
later on there was a Sonic.
That even took a while to get.
Yeah, even McDonald's took a while.
Oh my god, there's a McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah,
but that's not Route 66, right? Like Mustang doesn't.
No. Route 66 is at 39th Expressway.
Yeah, so just a couple miles north, I guess.
Yeah, but it goes through Yukon.
Yeah,
and Yukon is like right next to Mustang.
Yukon, is that the one that Northwest Expressway runs through if you go keep heading northwest, I guess? All right, yeah. So they're not very far from each other.
No, not at all.
You guys, I think the closest thing that you guys are close to is like the Hobby Lobby Mega.
Yeah, the distribution center.
Right.
Yeah, I used to live right there on Council.
Okay.
44th, right behind Western Heights. Yeah.
So thumbs up, thumbs down, Mustang, all that area.
Oh, now it's great. Now one of my friends actually owns a barbershop in Yukon.
Oh.
He's my best friend since 6th grade.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Who else runs a business? Oh, it's called what?
The Cutting Floor, I think.
The Cutting Floor.
Yeah.
We'll find it. We'll link it. Do you have other businesses that friends own? Like you go to the Red Cup. Is that a friend or is that just?
Well, I just know him from going in there. I mean, I wouldn't really call him a friend. But
yeah.
I used to know the people who own Chasm. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's no longer a thing.
Right.
I used to be on, like, I knew the family that owned Saraceros.
Yeah.
Because the kids used to come in a Hot Topic. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I knew them from there, and I'd always go in and see them and everything.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else. Like McKinsey T-shirt company, like down in Sheridan, right by IEO.
Yeah.
I know the guy who owns that. I mean, I'm friends with the girl who has the stained glass place down in Paseo.
I haven't been there
Yeah,
yet.
it's right next to. It's kind of across the street-ish, like across, like diagonally from Picasso's.
Mm-hmm.
It's right next to the Paseo Arts Council or whatever it is. Building.
Oh, yeah. There's like a hat there was like the little dress shop or like hat thing. And then they had the main art district where you sign up to be like
Yeah, it's over in Paseo. Just walk around, you'll find it. You'll find it. It's not that big. It's not that big. Just that end of the Paseo, and just start walking, because she always has new artists every Paseo art walk.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any advice for artists who are trying to develop characters or anything like that?
I would probably say, no matter how ridiculous you think your ideas are, just do it. Somebody's gonna like it, because mine are ridiculous, and people love them. So just do it. Just whatever you have in your head, whether it's a serious piece or a comedic piece or satire, whatever. Just whatever it is, just do it. Do it how you want to do it.
Yeah. And
just be you. And
what do you want to see, like, in other people's work, or what keeps you interested?
Honestly, trial and error.
Yeah.
I like when I can see, like, not necessarily that there's mistakes, but you could see the process that they have gone through. And especially if you followed an artist for a while, that you can see how, they did this type of piece, and that's where they picked up the tricks to do this. Like I do, like, been working with that epoxy clay and, like, learning different things to do, like, and so there's a growth you can see. Just like listening to a musician.
Okay.
You can hear the growth over time.
It's like if they produce the same album again and again, it's no fun.
Right. But if you feel the growth, and sometimes there's growing pains and the music's not that great, and that's going to happen, but just do what you feel like you want to do at that time. Like, just do it. And it's either going to be cool or it's not, but you're going to learn something, and it's going to be a process.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, what's your favorite animal in the whole world?
An owl.
What's your least favorite?
I don't want to say this because it will get hate mail.
Do it.
Cats.
And so if an owl and a cat fought, but they were allowed to have weapons, like they had the intelligence, the dexterity.
Okay.
Or they could strap something on. So given their intelligence, who wins?
Oh, the owl.
The owl.
The owl, because all the owl has to do is fly up. What's the cat gonna do? It's gotta climb a tree.
If it just has a laser on its head, they love lasers. If you just,
Yeah, but they would point it at the ground and chase it. Like, I mean, that sounds like a smart owl who was marketing something to ruin the cat army, saying, "Oh yeah, no, we got these great lasers. They'll take owls out in a second." Right?
All of them are staring
and they're
cutting each other to bits.
They're running and chasing it because they can never catch it.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. All right. Well,
it sounds like we figured out how the cat genocide's going to happen.
Too. Yeah, how the owls will win the war, the Great War. With that, this is Artless Nap. Thank you so much, Blaine.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep. You guys enjoy. Until the next episode, catch everything at artlessnap.com. You can get us on iTunes. You can get us on Google. You can get us on TuneIn. Have a good day. Watch your cat. Watch your cat.
Don't strap lasers to its head.